Hi guys, it's Miss Kim, and today we're going to make some sweet treats for Easter. I am not much of a baker, but I like to make cute, fun things, and springtime is really an awesome time to do that. So we're going to start by making some treats with pretzels and M&Ms. And actually, all of our treats today have M&Ms, and I'm going to read you a little message about M&Ms in between while we're melting something in just a minute. So we're going to
watching.
We're going to make some sweet pretzels, and then we're going to make some gooey springtime popcorn. Okay, so to do the pretzels, we have the little waffle pretzels, and I chickened out on the butterfly pretzels today because I don't have sticks to make the little centers, but I have these waffle pretzels.
Nancy says pretty hair.
Oh, thanks. Okay, waffle pretzels, and Merritt can show you we have all of these different kinds of M&Ms. And fun fact, when you open up the springtime M&Ms, there are more green and blue, and then yellow's in second place, and then purple and pink. They're not the same amount of each color. So that was interesting. All right, now on these waffle pretzels, the next step, I'm hoping that these are things that you mostly have at home. I happen to have white candy melts at home, but you don't have to use candy melts. You could use chocolate chips or white chocolate chips, or you could even use frosting to do this next step. If you choose to use frosting, you wouldn't bake them. You would just put frosting on and then stick on your M&Ms. So I heated my oven to 300, and I'm going to put a white candy melt on each pretzel. And again, if you wanted to, you could probably use 2 or 3 chocolate chips or white chocolate chips. This is just going to be the glue for the M&Ms. And if you use frosting, I think that would also be super delicious. But if you use frosting, don't put them in the oven. Yes, if you want to get him out. And Bailey, there's some new sweet potato snacks on the counter. Okay. Sorry. The dog's walk got a little bit delayed, so he's not happy. Okay, here we go. We have white candy melts on all the pretzels. And then our next step is to just put them into the oven for just a minute or two. I'm just going to throw it in here. And while we do that, I want to tell you that I have some couple tablespoons of butter melting in my pot on the stove here. And I am going to put in marshmallows. It's on really low. I'm going to put some marshmallows on because we will need gooey melted butter and marshmallows for our popcorn. I'm just going to get that started while we melt the candy melts. Give it a little stir. Sorry, this makes...
Elizabeth is watching.
Hey, Elizabeth. This makes boring live video, the marshmallow part here, but I think it'll be okay. All right, let's see what we've got going here.
Can't see it.
Hold on. I'm not ready for my Food Network review yet.
Oh my gosh, don't touch it. It's in the oven.
I'm going to put one more on there. They just need another few seconds. A few more seconds. Okay, so when we go to put these on, we are going to put one M&M in the center of each pretzel and then surround it by other M&Ms. You can either use all one color, you can have a different color center and a different color outside, but that is going to make our flowers. Okay, so I'm gonna pull these back out.
Nancy says the marshmallows look good.
All right, and I'm sure that you can adapt this to whatever kind of marshmallows your family wants to use, or chips. Okay, so I'm just going to drop a yellow on a couple of these right in the middle. Hot. And I'm going to drop on some, whoops, some greens for centers. I was going to attempt a carrot, but I don't think I'm going to because they're not big enough.
Alice says, now you've hooked me. It's all about the chocolate.
Okay, these are hardening up really fast, so I'm not gonna go ahead and try to make them all. But what you're gonna do is just surround your center with a different color of M&M. And they are setting up pretty quickly. So, chase them around. Sorry, I gotta give this another stir. More stirring. Okay. Get the rest of these on here. All right, these candy melts are really forgiving, and I don't think that anything bad would happen to the M&Ms. If you wanted to, you could just put your tray back in the oven for a second to, oh, this one's really, to melt the, to melt your chocolate back up.
Tina Kritzer says that they look cute.
Thanks, Tina. All right. Yes, Bailey, if you could get behind me and stir up the marshmallows, that would be fantastic. Okay, so maybe I'll make another purple one and then a yellow one. After you get all of your flours done, you want to put them in the fridge or the freezer right on the tray. And I happen to already test. You should definitely test your tray to see if it will fit in your fridge or freezer.
Nancy and Veronica think that they look very cute.
Thank you.
Should I go let them in?
No. Okay, for the sake of time, I think I'm gonna have that be what we make. I'm gonna grab a paper plate really quick and we're going to put them in the freezer that way. I like candy melt. Oh, I'm not gonna put them on a paper plate because they won't move. Whole tray going in the freezer. And then what I'll do is remelt. I'll remelt the ones that I didn't use. Okay, so the next step, perfect, is that we have now melted down the marshmallows. I'm kind of guesstimating this. If you're Pinteresty, you can look on Pinterest, or the internet has lots of ideas. But for fun, when I make Rice Krispie treats, I like to use colored marshmallow. And I think that the best way to color your marshmallow is with Jell-O. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some Jell-O, dry Jell-O in there. This says raspberry. It smells delicious. It flavors up your marshmallows really well. As you can see, you don't need a whole package. I am going to let this melt together. It feels like it's going to be a little bit grainy, so I'm going to let that melt together for just a second. My stove is off now, but that's okay because it'll continue to melt. And I have 2 bags of microwave popcorn. You could easily just pop plain kernels for this. The recipes do call for salty popcorn, so we used buttered popcorn this time. It gives a nice sweet salty effect, and you can put in whatever ingredients you want. Today we're going to use M&Ms and sprinkles. Okay, so
Nancy says she wished she was quarantined in our house. And Nancy, Cindy, and Tina all love your nail polish.
Oh, thank you. It's a struggle over here with the nail polish right now. Okay, I am going to pick this. Well, I'm actually going to put on a glove in case my knuckles get on the pan. I'm going to pick this up and drizzle I don't think all of it onto the popcorn.
Veronica says, Nancy, same, adopt me.
Listen, this would be a really good time to have everybody that you know quarantined together. All your loved ones together, your friends and family. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. When you get your popcorn, your gooey stuff on your popcorn, then you are just going to stir. Oh my gosh, I just want to take this whole thing to the couch and watch a movie and eat it. Get it mixed around. Ooh, there's a big chunk down there. Get it all mixed around. Isn't that pretty? I was gonna look for purple Jell-O too, but they didn't have any. So really all you need today is marshmallows, butter, some circular candies like M&Ms. I'm gonna tell you a little M&M message in just a minute that Miss Nancy gave me. And some chocolate chips or white chocolate melts or frosting. And you can whip up some frosting really quick at home too. Okay, now this is gorgeous all by itself, but we're gonna make it more gorgeous by sprinkling in some M&Ms.
Loud. Shavante says
colors.
2 of her favorite food groups, sweet and salty.
I'm just going to use a little bit of all the different colors of M&Ms and keep stirring. And if this gets too sticky to stir, definitely grab a clean plastic spatula and spray it down with cooking oil, except for where you're holding it on your hand. Spray it like all the way up to here on a plastic one, because that will keep it from sticking to your spatula when you're trying to stir it around. So you're going to stir this. Looks pretty good. And then I have some fun candies, sprinkles. And just to add a little more excitement. Oop, these ones are bunnies. Can you see those? These ones are bunnies. Okay, you guys get the idea. I'm gonna stir this up, and then, just like Rice Krispie treats, I am going to spray a 9x13 and I don't see a spatula, but I do have a salad tong because I feel like this is going to be hard to get out of the bowl. So going to put this in here. You can also like chunk it onto a cookie sheet into like clumps, like little like popcorn balls, or you can spread it out like this. So I'm just gonna spread it out kind of like a Rice Krispie treat. Rice Krispie treats are on the docket for tomorrow at the craft house.
That's exciting.
Okay, so you just leave it like this, and then you can either later, when it gets a little bit drier, you can either pull it apart, or you can pull it apart, or you can cut it apart. And the reason that I focused on the M&Ms today is that Miss Nancy had this really cute poem, which maybe she can post later, or I can figure out how to post later. I'm super sticky. Hold on one second. Sorry. Super sticky. Okay. If you grab an M&M, on the M&M, I don't know if you can see this, but on the M&M there's a little white M. So this is what it says. It says, "The sweet truth of Easter. These candies tell a story, the best news you'll ever hear. It's about Jesus dying on the cross so we could be brought near. So hold them and turn them and you will see the M becomes a W and an E Right. And then a 3. Sorry. Upside down and backwards. The E stands for Easter, God's everlasting love and his eternal plan. It reminds us of the cross and the way God rescued sinful man. The 3 represents the 3 days Jesus spent in the grave. By his death, his children he did save. The M reminds us of the mercy the Messiah showed as he died in our place, and the miracle of the resurrection so we can see him face to face. The W reminds us that he alone is worthy of our worship and praise and calls us to be his witnesses around the world for all our days. All right, I hope you had fun today. I hope you try out making some sweet treats. I hope you have a wonderful Easter. And remember, like we said on Tuesday, Jesus isn't the good news. He's the best news ever. Bye, guys. Happy Easter.